Hey, what is going on? It is Crypto Bobby. Hope you are having a great day, great night, wherever you're watching or listening in from. Today, the altcoins are bouncing, or at least showing a little bit of life, and a few have shown a nice bit of sustained life over the past week or so, and leading a lot of people to point to, hey, are the altcoins bottoming out? Is Bitcoin bottomed out? Are we finally seeing some life in the market? And are we going to start seeing a potential, I don't want to say alt season or bull run or anything like that, but is this the start of something halfway decent? I also want to coverage just some of the media coverage that is happening right now in the crypto space, specifically a CNBC special that is occurring about an hour before, or about an hour after I'm recording this. So it might have gone live, probably will have gone live by the time you watch it. But I do think the way CNBC, at least from the previews, is covering this, is covering Bitcoin, is covering cryptocurrencies, covering crypto assets, is a joke in general. I mean, just the people that they're asking about this space, the level of discussion that is being had, it's really negative. And I mean, you could have as many silly conspiracy theories as possible about, hey, somebody like, I've seen people in my mentions saying big banks are paying CNBC to basically make crypto look as stupid as possible. CNBC is certainly making crypto look as stupid as possible with the people, and we'll show the previews and talk a little bit about that. But overall, I mean, I think that the media coverage in this space really needs to improve. And it's almost sad to think about how poor some of the mainstream media coverage it is, and how much better in a lot of respects just regular Joe Schmoes out there on Twitter and some of these fund managers and all these other people are doing with media coverage in the space over the traditional mainstream media that is out there right now. So we'll get into all that and more during today's episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. Helps get this video to as many people as possible, and I would really appreciate that. So looking at on-chain FX right now, and sorting this, I have the columns 24 hours versus USD, 7 days, and 90 days. And what I'm looking at right now is some of the moves that have happened in the past 7 days, some of the positive moves, because there have been some pretty big moves recently. Specifically, Nano has been one that has really rocketed up in the past 7 days, even beyond that. And then today we'll talk a little bit about some of the pullback we've seen with Nano. But in the past 7 days, Nano is up 62% against the USD. WanChain is up 45% against USD. Icon, another big one, up about 35%. Cash, another big one, up about 30%. Neo Gas is up close to 30%. A number of crypto assets have moved between 20 and 60% in the past 7 days. But when you look at that, it's important to kind of look back where they are or where they've come from. And Nano itself is down 92% from all-time highs. WanChain is down 86% from all-time highs. You have Icon down 93% from all-time highs. So what does that tell me right now? It tells, for me at least, you have to take into consideration the entry and the exit on a lot of these opportunities. Depending upon where you got in, or if it's a short-term trade, I think there is, and we'll go to CNBC, but there's always this big emphasis on hodling, on holding, just buying and closing your eyes and hoping that things get better. But what this, at least in my mind, it goes to show is that, there are opportunities across the board in altcoins right now. The market is showing a little bit of life for the time being, at least. And there are money-making opportunities on the board for altcoins like Nano and for like WanChain and for like Icon that have come, and they might be gone at this point in time. So we'll talk about that as well. But depending, you always have to try to spot those new opportunities. You always have to keep an eye out for those. And for some of these altcoins that have bottomed out or maybe hit max pain, if that was 95% down from all-time highs or 96% down from all-time highs. But you're never going to time the bottom perfectly. You're never going to time the top perfectly, but trying to find those profitable trades and profitable opportunities across the board. The one thing I will mention is we'll pop over here to Coinigy. So I think what might start to happen, and I think we'll probably see this as well, but Nano bottomed out. Where we got Nano bottomed out at about 12 days ago, about 2 weeks ago. At one point in time, Nano was up about 250% from the bottom. Now, in the past day or so, Nano is down close to 20% from where it was trading yesterday. So when I'm looking at this, I am looking at these opportunities and I am not chasing pumps. I think that, if you manage to accumulate Nano while it was pretty low, fantastic. That's awesome. If you made 100+% on Nano, that's great. But there are also people that I guarantee there are a good number of people that FOMO bought yesterday and are now down close to 20%. And I think that will likely continue across the board. Is you're going to see these opportunities, whether they are natural pumps, this one, or whether it is some level of manipulation. Who knows? I see people complaining about manipulation with Binance and some of these other exchanges out there, being that they're primarily driven. Some of these pumps have been primarily driven on Binance, but just being aware that if something pumps 150%, yeah, it's still down 92% from its all-time highs, but somebody bought it towards the bottom and somebody's going to be taking profit and probably dumping on your head. So even if you wanted to and you didn't get into, Nano and you want to get into it now, you want to make sure that you're not buying into something, at least in my opinion, especially in this environment where things have gotten crushed and it is such a rare occurrence that something moves. To me, at least right now, it's not like December of last year where you could buy into something on 100% pump and it might still pump 800% more. I don't necessarily know if we're in that situation. So my thought process here is, there are some altcoins that are moving nicely, that are moving 20, 30% right now in a day. If that happens, may or may not, probably not the best time to be buying into those. You want to look for those altcoins that are showing similar patterns like Nano did, like some of these other, like WanChain, like Icon have done previously, showing similar patterns on the chart, maybe showing a similar news cycle, and trying to find those ones that haven't made that move yet, rather than buying into something that is up 150%, FOMO buying in and getting your face ripped off down 20% in the past day. So that's kind of my just outlook as I am examining some of these, some of these charts and some of these crypto assets, because I think we're starting to see a little bit of life in the market. I don't necessarily know if we're done with the whole capitulation phase and the bear market is over. But for now, if Bitcoin is showing a little bit of stability above $6,000, some of the altcoins are getting a little bit juicy and making some nice moves. So if you can get a decent entry into those, there are opportunities to make money in this space right now, which is the first time we've seen that in quite a bit of time, which has been nice, unless you've been on the short side of the house. So speaking of just the general coverage of media in this space, CNBC is one of the ones that are driving it right now. And there is a TV special tonight, Bitcoin Boom or Bust. And the trailer to that is the most outrageous thing I've seen, and literally makes me want to jump out the window for even being in the same industry as Bitcoin or cryptocurrency when I'm looking at this. And I can't tell if this is the best troll of all time or just an absolute nut job, but here we go.
I just want to set the record straight. It is not HODL. That sounds really stupid. It's HODL.
HODL, the most important acronym in the Bitcoin vernacular. It means hold on for dear life.
No, it actually doesn't mean that.
No matter
it doesn't
how
mean that.
tempting the day trade might be.
Nope, it doesn't.
And the poster child for hodling?
One
The poster
paw to
child?
another.
You guessed it.
You buy on the dip and HODL. Okay.
Do you have to use that intonation with a deep, low voice at the end?
Unlike other Bitcoin millionaires who've cashed in their staggering returns for Lambos and yachts,
We call traders.
Crypto
Nailed
Kid
it.
keeps
Nailed
his
it.
paws off his windfall altogether, believing the price of Bitcoin will skyrocket in the years to come and eventually replace traditional currency.
Everybody thinks they're a genius because they put in $100 and it went up to $1,000.
I am a genius. That was $100.
If you can
Ugh.
hold on to that $1,000 or make it grow for the next 10 years, then you're a genius.
In fact, Justin hodls so hard, he's even found a way to avoid rent.
I sold all of my stuff, moved into the most frugal living environment I could.
A treehouse.
Yeah, there is
There it is.
home, sweet home.
You actually live inside there. On a day like today, snowstorm
What did
going on.
CNBC think when they were recording this?
Have some
What
Bitcoin
were they
mining rigs
thinking?
to show you? It keeps it heated.
So that is the first part of this, which is outrageous in and of itself. That literally CNBC went to a treehouse and was like, "Hey, this is a good idea. Here's a guy with fucking paw prints. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be perfect." well, let's make these idiots look as dumb as possible. But then they also have Jordan Belfort on TV as well. So today, here we go, Jordan Belfort.
With not just Bitcoin, but with the current crop of cryptocurrencies, really more to do with the fact that the world governments are not going to allow this to have.
Wait, real quick. So for anybody who's listening on the podcast too, CNBC literally has something on the side of the screen that says street cred, as if Jordan Belfort's credentials are actually a redeeming quality. The Wolf of Wall Street author, catching the Wolf of Wall Street author. Now, I've seen the movie. The only thing good that Jordan Belfort is responsible for is Leonardo DiCaprio memes and GIFs. Outside of that, there is no credentials there. You're a scam artist. Like, come on. Let's relax on the street cred. Thank you, CNBC. Thank you.
Traction at any level because, you know, and again, I always go back to this quote by the Rothschild family way back in the day that give me control of the nation's money supply and I don't need to write the laws. And there's no way that they're going to allow us, after all these years of clamping down on Switzerland, they say, okay, yeah, let's have an anonymous global currency, just give up control of the money supply. It's outrageous to think that they will allow this to take hold. That's my biggest issue with it.
Do you differentiate between Bitcoin, which has the biggest market cap in terms of cryptocurrencies, and some of the smaller coins, the ICO?
I see she made it out of the treehouse alive, so that's good. That's a positive. We're in the clear. Treehouse boy didn't do anything crazy.
Of the world, for instance, when you make that parallel between cryptocurrency and the scams you used to run out of the boiler room.
Well, there's two things. See, Bitcoin itself is not a scam, I don't think. What's happening is there are scams around it being perpetuated because by its very nature, it's.
So I'm not even going to watch the whole thing, but just the premise of having Jordan Belfort on CNBC, because I ran scams and I ran a boiler room. So therefore, I am inherently knowledgeable enough to talk about other scams, other perceived scams. Literally makes no sense whatsoever. Is Jordan Belfort, an economist? Does he have a degree in technology? Does he know actually anything about Bitcoin other than it's pseudonymous and there's Tether involved and that the governments aren't going to let this happen? I don't know. We'll see. But the fact that CNBC again thinks that, oh, okay, this guy used to run a scam, so let's have him on here to say everything else is a scam. Like, let's pump the brakes, CNBC. Let's relax. And we're just going to put this on national television. So at 6:30 p.m. tonight, my mom and my deceased grandmother can then text me and say, "Hey, Rob, this thing on CNBC, this kind gentleman said that Bitcoin was bad news." So I'm going to have to respond to that at some point in time. At 6:45 tonight, when my mom texts me, I'm going to be like, okay, Mom, yes, I'm actually just not going to text you back, so I don't really feel like it. But hey, whatever. That's life, and that's CNBC. So thank you for perpetuating stupid things on mainstream media again and again and again. I very much appreciate it. I'm sure the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency community very much appreciates it, but we'll have to see the full episode. Would love to live stream it, but I'm sure that's some type of copyright issue, so I won't do that. But other than that, I would love to live stream it. So hey, who knows? But outside of that, guys, I am keeping an eye just overall on the market on some of these altcoins that haven't necessarily moved yet, and trying to see what ends up happening with the ones that have moved significantly, like Nano, which has done well, gone up over 100%, and then has pulled back in the last day or so. Are we going to see the money that has been made in something like Nano move into something else? Is the stability in Bitcoin, or the relative stability in Bitcoin for the past 24, 48, 36 hours, is that conducive to some positive altcoin movements across the board, or continuing to be conducive to positive altcoin movements across the board? Where are going to be the best money-making opportunities here? All things I'm keeping an eye on, as well as sitting back, kicking my feet up, having a beer, watching CNBC talk about hodling and holding on for dear life, even though it is just something from a Bitcoin talk forum when a dude was drunk. So hey, who knows? Outside of that, guys, hit that thumbs up button, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you are new here. Crypto Bobby signing out. Hope you have a good one. Peace.